welcome back to Touch the Road. I am Kruddy now. I reach Fort Charles and it's time to find a tour guide. So follow me inside. Think turn up. What has kept Port Royal together over all of these years?
I like to believe it's the people, but the forces that they would say it's more than that. It is because of what we have here, in not just Fort Charles, because there are quite a number of other sites in Port Royal itself. But think of it, Henry Morgan once walked here. The man who we recognize as the pirate of pirates, although officially I must call him a buccaneer. Yes? He was walking up and down these places. In fact, if Henry Morgan choose to come back today, he'd need to walk in water to go home. And I could imagine at some time when he was here, he would have perhaps jumped off of the end there, because right in front of us would have been water as well. Can you imagine him coming back and seeing what is happening here? Come on, it's a completely different thing. And of course, we were the richest, the wickedest place on earth. Everybody loves money, yes? And everybody would like to know that we have some kind of title, as horrible as it might sound, as the wickedest place on earth, but we were. And in fact, not just Henry Morgan's, all the pirates and privateers of that era would have been here in Port Royal, all with a common cause, making some money.
Here in Port Royal, we have a lot of sites. You know what I mean? We have a lot of landmarks. I want you to tell the viewers, and myself, of course, you know what I mean, these landmarks and give us a little bit of facts about them.
Well, to begin with, the saddest thing is that most of them are not accessible to the public. Yeah. We're here in Fort Charles with an extension, the Giddy House. Yes? Across in front of us where you parked, that was also water, I might tell you. And the football field to the left, where football was first played in Jamaica. In the background of that is a two-story naval hospital. Built in 1819, it was in fact the first prefabricated cast iron structure in the Western world. Yes, and I know most Jamaicans like to refer to Mary Seacole as a mother of nursing, but I like to give a little thought to Cuba Cornwallis, who would have nursed Nelson as a young lieutenant commanding this fort back to health. Yes? The St. Peter's Church, we know that Louis Galdi's remains are buried there. Yes, Louis Galdi, who was swallowed and spat out at the time of the earthquake. Yes, his remains are there. There's on Goal Alley, there's an old jailhouse, because in fact we had 3 prisons here in Port Royal, 2 for women. I don't know if that is telling us something about the women in Port Royal at the time, but there are 2. That one still exists today, right? But generally, it is not so much. There's as we come into past the church, structure, wooden structure with no roof. That was a building. It was a lab, a marine lab. It was all put together only with pins. So the connection that joined the woods together were wooden pins, no metals, no nails, nothing like that, right? But as you walk, if you walk through Port Royal, as the wind blows and blow off the sand, you encounter bits and pieces of the history underfoot as well, yes? Because lots of stuff would have been there before, and foundations are all over the place. But the one of most significance is the sunken city.
We heard from Mr. Gordon, Port Royal, a sunken city. Look, to be standing strong and firm. So it's all about Touch the Road. Kruddy, Mr. Gordon. Stay tuned. All right, so we're here with Sergeant Wickham Campbell. Mr. Campbell, how are you?
I am good.
All right, so we're going around, we're talking to people about Port Royal, you know what I mean, getting a little feedback from the place, a little history. Now, in your field now, tell me how easy your job is to control crime in Port Royal.
Well, my job has never been easy, but in Port Royal, things is a bit calm, and Port Royal is a quiet area. It's almost crime-free. The most thing we may experience here is like domestic dispute. As you can see, it's a very closely knitted community of about 2,500 people. And if you check it, they are mostly family. And to understand their culture, they have a culture which is almost different from the rest of the island. Okay. You understand? So if you understand them, you can live with it.
Get along with them.
Yes.
All right, Mr. Campbell. So you see it in Port Royal, peaceful, good seafood and all of these things. So Definitely a place to visit. And if anything, you can come live to. Touch the road. Every community has a standout moment, and that's what Kathleen Paisley is for Port Royal at the moment. She's a retired basic school principal, and she will be honored by the government later on this year. Let's talk to Kathleen and see what she's up to. Now it's time for the bright spark of Port Royal, Miss Kathleen Paisley. Miss Paisley, how are you?
Too bad.
All right. Now, Miss Paisley, you'll be honored by the government later on this year. Tell me how you feel about that.
Well, it's good. And I was surprised. I didn't know,
Yeah.
I was surprised about it.
Okay, but before we really touch all your success and all of that, how long have you been in Port Royal?
From I was born, I'm in Port Royal.
Tell me a little bit about your teaching experience. Just, just something brief with your teaching experience and all of that.
Well, I love the work that I was doing. And I am glad that I could be able to impart something to the children and to nurture them and everything. I taught them and I learned from them.
Well, you really want to say thanks to people like Miss Paisley and all of that for just giving back to places where she come from. You know what I mean? If more would do that, the world would be a great, great place. You don't know. We touch the road. Credit Miss Paisley. Port Royal with you. Keep it locked. So it's all about touch the road in Port Royal. I'm Kruddy, Stay tuned. Don't move a muscle.